Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today's upload is going to be about the potential for a significant storm looming on the high plains, Colorado, and even into parts of the Midwest like Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois, and Wisconsin. So I will be updating you guys on this, on the pattern, and I will be later on today or tomorrow releasing a updated winter outlook. So stay tuned for that if you like this. And if you want these notifications for these videos, then consider subscribing to my channel. Consider liking the video. Again, it's up to you. You're a new viewer, check out my channel. You're an old returning viewer, but not a member, subscribe. It's there for a reason. Supports my channel. Thank you for that. So this video is going to be dedicated to the storm that is essentially going to be occurring across the high plains, Colorado, Kansas. Well, the high plains are mainly going to be in Kansas and Nebraska, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we have this piece of energy that's producing quite a bit of snow right now in southern Montana, northern Wyoming, and eastern Idaho. So right now, this will be shifting down to the south with this low right here. You can see it's not going to be too strong. Basically, just a lot of moisture to work with. And there was earlier the tropical storm that came from the southwest. In its wake left quite a bit of moisture, and that the storm kind of produces, and you can see, or it uses the moisture up and produces quite a bit of snow on the backside of it, more snow than rain actually. And the reason for that is, well, first off, it's in the mountains. A lot of it's in the mountains, Colorado Rockies. The second part is there's a ton of cold air here in the eastern part of the United States, and you can see this snow shifts all the way out into southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. If you live in southern Wisconsin, I know I have a friend that always asks, he lives in southern Wisconsin, will my city see snow? Well, the storm, you may see some snow in southeastern Wisconsin, so that may be your first snow on Monday. That is very interesting to see how that plays out, and that's mainly the focus of this video. I will be updating you guys also on the pattern, however. So let's look at the total snowfall. You can see that the GFS is putting out a fairly wide swath of anywhere from 3 to 6 inches, extending from northwestern Nebraska all the way into the panhandle of Texas. So that area, and extending all the way from western Idaho to even parts of eastern Wisconsin. So very, very unique storm that will be happening fairly early on in the season. It will be breaking some records for many locations here, seeing their earliest snowfall ever. So this snowstorm is very historic, very remarkable. You can see this was last model run that showed it, so it has been very consistent with these model runs. You can see showing very similar amounts of snow happening. The GFS has backed down a little bit on it. But the NAM has definitely not backed down on the snowfall amounts. I mean, you can see the NAM is showing quite a bit of snow, extending from, again, the same locations, even a bigger swath with the NAM, and some higher amounts in the northwestern Kansas area. And you can see even the NAM is pointing out some snow in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri. This is very interesting. We'll need to keep an eye on this. Let's just go to the MSLP and Precip. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast in this video, and I'm just really excited. This is the first snowstorm of the season, and these things are just awesome. I love snowstorms. It doesn't even need to hit my location. I just love seeing snowstorms. So you can see this is right now what's going on in the mountains in Montana, the lowlands, the highlands, and everywhere. Basically, it's snowing, it's cold enough, and this drops down through Wyoming, through Yellowstone, through the Grand Tetons, and you can see that this eventually gets picked up by this low that is remaining here in the panhandle of Texas, and this swath of snow breaks out across mainly the whole state of Nebraska. So if you live in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, potentially could see some snow with this. You can see western Colorado, Denver, definitely seeing some snow with this. I do think this could be the first named winter storm of the season, but possibly. You could see some icing, some sleet potentially with this. I don't think that's going to be a huge threat, though, as I'll show you in just a minute with the National Weather Center's forecast. And you can see this extends out into the plain, or into the Midwest, and it leaves it behind here, so doesn't go nearly as far south as it does with the GFS, but definitely goes out into parts of Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, and you can see that this actually extends fairly far down to the south, including areas like Kansas City, maybe seeing some snow with this. So many locations will be seeing their first snowfall with this, but otherwise the thing is, guys, after this snowstorm passes, we'll just be remaining in some cooler air and not much precip at all. Some very minimal amounts of precip. So let's go back to let's just go through the whole so this is a storm, passes through. You can see the GFS actually has it hitting Chicago. So very, 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 very interesting setup. I think this would be the second earliest snowfall of the season if it were to hit Chicago. October 12th, as of today, or as of this year, is the earliest snowfall in Chicago ever, and that was yesterday. So very interesting setup. This winter may be filled with extremes and, different things, different variations of records and record-breaking snowstorms, maybe not snowstorms, rainstorms. I think this year will be very exciting. So I would say from the snowstorm, the main areas that will see the snow would be in here and draw something like that. I would not necessarily include portions of Wisconsin yet or Illinois, just because the threat. These model runs just predicted this a couple days ago, but I would definitely say that the probability extends into this zone right here, and that mainly the chances of snow falling in these areas are fairly high. So that is definitely something we'll need to keep an eye on for, and definitely something to watch. I may need to make a video on it tomorrow morning, and then I think that will be it, because this snowstorm will be occurring very soon into the next couple of days. So after that, like I was saying, however, the pattern's going to be very quiet, very calm, very below average precip for much of this northern half of this country. However, what this means, guys, is that if October is going to be below average in terms of precip, it's gonna switch around sooner or later, whether it's gonna last a week, 2 weeks, possibly even 3 weeks to below average conditions in terms of precip. November and December may be, again, filled with storms and precip, and that may be, aligned with the cold weather that will be happening in winter. So we may be setting up for some good snowfall in November and December. I may need to make a video on that, just explaining why. So that is very interesting. You can see a couple of systems coming in from the north in Canada, producing snow showers in areas like upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island, not Boston, Massachusetts. I don't know why I said the city in Massachusetts, but you can see some snow showers definitely occurring in those states. Not necessarily big snows, just some snow showers. I wouldn't call it a snowstorm. And then we could start seeing, some systems, maybe some cold fronts. But you could see this part of the United States very, very calm, very quiet, and not much going on at all, actually. Basically nothing. And then finally, maybe some systems starting to arrive into the West Coast later on into the pattern, or later on into the pattern period that we're looking at right now. So let's go quickly to total snowfall. So mainly the snowfall that is falling here will be falling with that snowstorm, and this goes all the way through October 23rd, so most of the snow that you're seeing on this map right now is going to occur with this one snowstorm. And other than that, not much, because there's just not going to be enough precip. Looking at total accumulated precip, quite a bit here in Texas, but that is with the recent rains that have been happening, that will continue. And, the southeast may be actually being above average in precip, but this is fairly typical for an El Nino. You could see that some of these locations are fairly dry, but again, it's a weak to moderate El Nino, so we may not, this is not really that typical, and we're not even into an El Nino yet, so don't get too caught up into this and being like, oh, this is typical El Nino, we're gonna see this all winter. I doubt it, and I may be actually making a video on that contradicting that. So very minimal amounts of precip. I mean, barely, not even a half an inch in most locations, and in the blue locations possibly over half an inch, and in the purple maybe 2 inches and above. So very dry conditions after this one snowstorm, and very interesting things to watch. So let's quickly go back to the NAM 3KM. I'd like to show you the snowstorm from a different little perspective, and let's actually time it out for you guys. So we're going through here. You can see this is the remnants of, I think, a tropical storm in the And from the southwest, you can see this quickly pushes through and leaves quite a good dose of rain actually in the southeast or south, I guess, just not even the south or southeast, just in the central south United States. This drops down, you can see by Sunday morning, this is basically tonight, early Sunday, morning hours of Sunday, you could see some very early signs of some snow into parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado. This shifts further down to the south, and by Sunday afternoon, so tomorrow, we have this whole setup of a fairly large system extending from northwest Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Colorado. So fairly good snows, and then as Sunday night approaches, this extends out into the plains, into areas like Iowa, and you can see this gets dangerously close to big cities like Chicago, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and these cities might actually be seeing their first snowfall, depending on how cold it is, and how this precip wants to act up. So very interesting, something we'll definitely need to watch. So if you're wondering, if you live in southeast Wisconsin, I would bet that you would be seeing your first snowfall right now. Very good chances of that happening. This is very exciting. Very good news if you're a snow lover. You could see the snowfall amounts fairly significant, up to 6 inches in those bands. And you can see that little area in Texas. I'm not sure why this keeps showing up in terms of, because I doubt it. That area here in Texas will be actually snow. I don't know. That may just be a glitch. Yeah, I think that's just a glitch, guys, because just watch this area right here, and you'll see no snowfall really occurring in that area, yet they're still showing quite a bit of, let's go to the total snowfall, of snow occurring there. So yeah, that must be a glitch, so ignore that. Most likely central parts of Texas won't be having snow. Maybe some snow showers as this sags down further to the south than expected. So let's quickly go to Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day outlook. You can see in terms of temperatures below average for central, eastern part of the United States, just Florida being above average, and the northwest. In terms of precip, you can see below average for much of the country, excluding parts of the south. Let's go to 8 to 14 day outlook. Again, below average for much of the United States, excluding the northwest and parts of Florida. And then precip, again, much below average. So that is definitely interesting, something definitely to watch. I need to keep an eye on this. I don't know how much time I have left, but hopefully I will be able to fit this in here. So let's go to parts of northwestern Kansas. You could see winter storm watches that will eventually turn into winter storm warnings. Let's go to the weather updates that the National Weather Service has put out. You can see 4 to 7 inches of snow possible and wind, and that would actually include up to even possibly a foot of snow in some locations, so that is definitely possible. And 4 to 7 inches in October for those areas is fairly high. You could see the highest amounts will be in northwestern Kansas, typically or especially by anywhere from between Interstate 70 and Garden City. Those areas in between there, if you live in Scott City, Tribune, Hayes, Hill City, Colby, Goodland, Kansas, Garden City, Dodge City, those areas all would be seeing some good snowfall amounts. You can see snowfall will continue through midnight Sunday night before exiting to the region to the south or to the northeast, as the latest models are showing. So that is basically it, guys. I wanted to give a quick little update on this. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, stay tuned for my winter outlook. That will be winter weather outlook that I'll be producing very soonly, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode.